Ashberry. Bam. Set. Not. It begins. And by it, I mean the itchiness. It's hard to do the card mover in this chair. This jacket keeps riding up. Works for the scarf. I mean, it's it kind of looks, it makes it look odd when the coats or the jacket's just like kind of bunched up. Yeah. Yeah, this chair's getting really squeaky. It's not great. Good coffee. Well, Dale Cooper would not approve of what I do to my coffee. guess the mic is picking up all that disk activity because updates are going. So I was just looking at the, whatchamacallit, the volume bar. It's showing, like, how much the microphone is picking up when I'm not talking. Just seems a little more than usual. Maybe it's picking up a ghost. Is it though? It's not your imagination. Okay. Updates are done. Alright, about to start, I guess. I'll do one more track after this one. Alright, finally starting to cool down. Alright, I'll stop the music there. And transferring to a game.
Do you remember where we were?
Oh, this is a cute feature. You know, that's a good idea. I am going to play that. I know he only just said one line, but how was the volume on that? Should I turn it up a bit? Yeah, try not to die of heat exhaustion in mid-October. Good? Alright.
Kind of. But remind me a little?
Okay. I was after the secret of Monkey Island, and I decided that the easiest path to the island was to sign on to crew on LeChuck's ship. I would mount a mutiny at some convenient time. There were two problems. I needed a mop to get the job, and they knew who I was. Now, back to the story.
Neat feature, yeah. I really like it. Okay, so when we last left off, I had finished talking to everyone here. Graffiti here, graffiti there, graffiti everywhere. The stop clock is right twice a day. That looks like a... What is that? Like a dead bird?
If any clock were the exception to that rule, it would be this one.
Oh, I forget what key. Hold on real quick. I'm gonna refamiliarize myself with the wait, here. Okay. Controls. Space is pause. Tab is highlight all. Okay. I'm used to space being highlight a lot. Dialogue choices, comma, dialogue history. Okay. Oh yes, there's a to-do list. Okay. So...
Going out of business? This place is an institution.
Right. Oh, this is the flyer that Elaine put up about, she has
It's Elaine's flyer about how
Yeah.
limes combat scurvy. It's important, but boring. I've never once made it all the way to the end.
of the flyer? Wow.
They're having a half-off sale. This place has kind of gone downhill. Elaine would never have stood for this when she was governor. What kind of person would just paint on a wall like that?
Actually, I wonder if these symbols are important. I'm thinking more mist than Monkey Island, I guess. Random symbols, write them down. Oh yes, I got a shrunken head. Cool.
It's a creepy shrunken head with long, stringy hair. The voodoo lady said it was a forgiveness frog. It's my very own, very sharp, non-magical ceremonial knife.
Appreciate the knife. Appreciate the knife.
It's hopeless.
Yes.
This has gotten me out of a lot of scrapes over the years.
Trusty horse armor, yes. The hint book just keeps vibrating. Don't like that.
It makes things look bigger.
It's a Mongol.
The pen is mightier than the sword. I've got a few coins for incidentals.
Okay. Let's see if we have anything new with that now that we talked
guys?
to.
Not much, but be sure to come see us at the shop tomorrow.
I just wanted to see if there was anything new after we talked to Wally and the voodoo lady.
Snazzy sign. Wally's done well for himself.
LeChuck, sir. Just thought I'd pop in and let you know. Preparations to set sail are almost done.
You have all the supplies for the spell to get to Monkey Island?
Check. Squid ink, chickens, brimstone, cinnamon, monkey blood, mint, and an annoying skull.
It's a
Well done.
pressed
Mark
skull.
yourself down for one less lashing this voyage.
Funny story. Guybrush Threepwood tried to sign on to the crew.
Threepwood? He must be looking for the secret too. That guy steals all my best ideas. Have him killed. Wait, let him live. I want him to see me sail off for Monkey Island knowing the secret is lost to him forever.
Sure.
I like his creepy
I want to
paintings.
bring this up one more time.
They change.
Is searching for this mythical secret of Monkey Island a good idea? Shouldn't we be out terrorizing the high seas, instilling fear, creating mayhem, being more on brand for LeChuck?
I've had enough of you questioning my orders. Finish loading the ship, and whatever you do, don't let Threepwood on board.
Very well.
Alright. There's a new voice actor for this one, for LeChuck, because the old one retired. I want to say Ed Boyne. Not sure if I'm pronouncing that right. Oh. Mummer? Ooh, that church isn't looking so good. Is this because of that battle we did there?
Looks like a volcano island with horns that swallowed a basketball.
No.
The note says, forced to close. Thanks for the memories, but cash would have been better. The note says, forced to close.
Yeah,
Thanks
okay.
for the memories.
I was actually, because it says it's the old general store.
The note says,
Okay, for crying out loud, I was looking at the note. Fine. Hey, Found Ace, welcome. How's it going?
hi.
Everybody thinks they know more than the other.
Okay.
Okay. Oh, visit the jail. Remember the good times at the jail. Oh, that clown poster is still there. Yay. I see the word. There it is. Yes! Trivia card. Oh, I forgot to look up the trivia thing. Damn it. I knew there was something. I'm doing alright. Good to... Sorry, sniffling. I've been sneezing a lot, this evening.
Employees only. It seems to be stuck closed.
Good. Let's never return there.
Aww, this is where I risked my neck for Elaine, and she showed me she only needed me to risk my heart. Also, the windows need some work.
Was it because LeChuck exploded? Sorta. Spiritually. Oh, that's new. So, did you have anything else to say?
Once you have a key, you've got to open the door.
If there's a lock, then there must be a key.
Things are not what they seem.
Like owls?
All keys are gold. It's the way of keys.
Not really. Ma'am.
No one ever works together. All want their own prize.
I agree. Cooperation is better than competitive competition.
When they get close to finding it, suddenly they are gone. You can find a golden key, but you cannot own it. A lock is a beautiful thing. A key key. Even more so.
She's very interested in this key business.
If you listen close, you can hear the gears grinding. They're mostly gone now. Hardly anyone left to pick up the pieces. The queen always gives way to a new queen. She vanished along with the ship. I told her not to go.
What even
The
is this?
secret smells like popcorn.
She knows about the secret to Monkey Island.
Some islands you should not visit. But what can you do? I got my golden key. But then, that is not enough. Lights out always comes sooner than you think.
You say you've got a golden key, but you just said you can't own it.
He's doomed. But that's what you get when you get involved with a woman of station. They all think they deserve it. Well, they do and they don't.
This woman is a fount of information.
It's a fairly good story. I wonder if there will be a sequel.
You okay, lady?
Everybody thinks they know more than the other.
Oh, did it loop now?
She vanished along with the ship. I told her not to
It
go.
doesn't seem to be in order. It seems random because that wasn't the second thing she said. But we have heard it.
They're mostly gone now. Hardly anyone left to pick up the pieces.
Alright, I'm gonna assume I got at least most of it.
Aww, this is
Oh,
where
wait.
I risked my neck for. Also, the window's neat.
Can't actually go in there. I definitely feel very informed. Yeah. Yep, I know so many clues.
A visitor! Wait. Guybrush Threepwood?
Otis!
Howdy, kid.
And Stan! Otis, old pal. You haven't changed much since I last saw you.
I blame the government.
In fact, didn't we first meet right here?
Not at all. I was in the other cell that
It's
time.
true. A rat
You
was in
look
this one.
different somehow. New art style?
How nice of you to notice.
Let's see. What'd you do this time? I am curious about that.
What did they get you for this time?
I'm a victim of circumstance.
Oh, yeah.
Circumstance being that too much attention gets paid to little things that don't hurt anyone, while hard killers roam the street with pistols and swords.
I noticed you didn't say what crime they locked you up for.
It was nothing. I was just picking some flowers.
In the forest?
No, that's illegal. I learned my lesson. I picked them from the governor's garden instead.
Picking flowers from the governor's garden sounds like an unwise choice.
We used to be friends. Sort of. Anyway, they aren't even her flowers. Taxes pay for them. It's public property.
Exactly,
I
you
don't know
stole
why
it from
anyone
the
bothers
people.
me about it. I don't hurt anybody.
We'll accept the flowers.
They're annuals. They're doomed anyway.
Big news. I'm going after the secret of Monkey Island.
That sounds fantastic. You know what I remember most about Monkey Island? The time you busted me out of jail right before we went there. I don't cruise ships anymore. But maybe you can still help me out. Like you did all those years ago.
Yeah, I'm sort of planning on hijacking an existing crew instead of recruiting one. But maybe I can spring you anyway, for old time's sake.
I would be most appreciative. A locksmith has opened very conveniently across the way. I am told locksmiths can make keys for things. Things like cell doors.
Keys, you say?
Guybrush, you gotta get me out of here. It's custard night. I don't think I can take that again.
I'll make it my number 3
Wait,
priority.
like custards for
Thanks.
dinner? But it's delicious. Oh, maybe it's not good
Watch your
custard.
boots in here, son. It's like a swamp. Without the clean parts.
Oh no, he's gonna be talking the whole time. So he looks impatient for us to get to talking to him. So I'm gonna look at other things first, because that's how I do. So.
I don't remember this place being so leaky.
They finally installed running water.
Yeah, I remember.
How's your day going?
God. The flowers are for everyone to enjoy. I remember that sign very well. If you do not bring back my flowers, I everyday voodoo you die.
You look like you're having a good time. That's nice.
A real
At
sign.
least the jail is well lit.
Yeah, but the better I can see it, the worse it looks.
A real sign a friend of mine found in the window.
They say the only real prison is the one in your head. But take it from me, that's a load of barnacles.
It says jail rules. 1. No escaping.
Word of advice, kid. Stick to the narrow straights.
Oh, I could peer at the lock.
I think there's some writing on it, but it's too tiny to read.
Aha, tiny, you say? I have
Jail
just the
is
thing.
like a bad breakfast. Small, greasy, and hard to swallow.
I can read the serial number. I'll write it down so I don't forget.
My trusty notebook. Good writer never goes anywhere without his notepad.
Darn it! I've been trying to inventory the spiders.
Any writing that was once here has been rubbed away.
Sorry, Stan.
At least this jail has 2 lamps.
Yeah, we are living the life.
Hot diggity, what a day, huh?
Hot diggity daffodil.
Hey, Stan.
Hello there, son.
What did you do that got you arrested?
Let me tell you something, son. It's not what a man does that matters, it's who he is. Maybe one day, in a moment of weakness, he crosses a line. But if he's confident about what's in his heart, he can hold his head high. And you know what's in my heart, son?
Blood and goopy stuff?
People. People are in my heart. Anything I may have allegedly done, you can be sure I did it because I care about people.
What exactly did you allegedly do for people that got you arrested?
I gave them what they wanted. Now, naturally, people don't always know that they want the things they want. Sometimes it takes a man with a talent like mine to show them the way. And sometimes people who are jealous of that sort of talent will try to put all sorts of unpleasant labels on it. They use hurtful words like scam and misrepresentation and even fraud. But it's all just marketing, son. As natural as the rocks and the trees and the Melee Island flounder birds. And that's why I'm not worried. I'm awaiting final judgment of the court, but I'm certain I'll be acquitted. They don't hang people for marketing.
They should. I mean,
It sounds like you should have been arrested several decades ago. I mean, why now, all of a sudden?
One word, jurisdiction. I was expanding my core business, you see, trying to provide ship owners with a variety of ship maintenance necessities. Sponges, barnacle scrapers, repair manuals, rudder tape. I had a whole line of products. I expanded my distribution to other islands all over the Caribbean. And that's when I ran into trouble. Some of those islands have different laws, you see, that might not seem so fair to men like you and me. They slapped me with a ton of paper, talking about things like standards of quality and consumer protection and environmental impact. They didn't understand that I wasn't really selling porthole wipers. I was selling happiness. And my customers were happy. They were perfectly happy right up until some clown with a briefcase came along and told them they weren't. It's a crock, son, and that's why it won't stand up in court. I'll be out before you know it.
was the villain gonna be a lawyer?
Didn't you used to have a law practice or something?
Used to, but I was disbarred for what we former law practitioners call moral turpitude.
Is that a real word?
More or less.
I never
It's one of those
knew what
handy
that meant.
catch-all words that you can use whatever you want because it doesn't mean anything specific.
I bet it means something. Something specific.
I was really hoping to buy a ship from you.
Well, now, normally, I would do absolutely anything to get you into a comfortable ride right away. But my hands are tied. They're shackled. I can't
No,
do
they're
it.
not.
Not at any price. I'm completely out of inventory. Every ship on the lot was seized by unscrupulous lawyers who don't care about your sailing needs the way I do.
Okay, don't worry about it. I've already got a plan to steal a ship from LeChuck.
Well, if you don't get killed, look me up afterwards. I'll give you a good price for anything that can stay above the waterline. Naturally, it'll have to be store credit until I get back on my feet.
Store credit. So, it looks like the colors of Stan's jacket are reversed. It's blue stripes on magenta instead of the other way around. Unforgivable.
Would it help if I broke you out of jail?
Now that's a kind offer, it truly is. Warms me to think that you'd do that for your old pal Stan. But I've got to think about the optics. I don't want to damage my case, and escaping from jail doesn't look good at trial. So thanks, but no thanks.
See, this is just in case you felt bad about breaking Otis out and not Stan.
Are you sure you don't want me to break you out?
115%, son, but thanks.
Well, is there anything else I can do for you?
Now that you mention it, there is one thing I've been missing during my time here in this lofty establishment. In all the rush and fuss and document shredding surrounding my arrest, I completely forgot to grab my toothbrush. If you happen to be passing by the shipyard, you might grab it for me. It'll be on my desk in the office.
Sure thing.
Okay.
I'm going after the secret of Monkey Island.
The secret? Boy, that takes me back. But if you're looking for help, you're barking up the wrong enchilada. Just remember, life has no guarantees or warranties. Only jamborees.
Thanks. That's advice.
That's advice.
See you later.
Yep.
Alright, now let's get out of here because he's gonna start talking again. You want his toothbrush, I think. Actually, don't think it got added to our to-do list. I don't know. That'll be... Can we not go that way? Oh, maybe we can. I like how the locksmith's house has keyhole shaped windows and stuff.
Looks sort of like an eye. I think it's a chandelier.
I have Sauron. Alright, before... Hold on. Before we go into the next area, that window is cooling me down a little too effectively. I have to go close it now. Just get my tea ready. And be right back. Like literally just moving over there. Hopefully I don't have to keep opening and closing it. Okay. Ah, squeaky, squeaky. I wonder if, like, a little grease will help with that. Actually, before we do that, I just want to double check. I got everything. Aha!
Eek, a spider.
It's very important.
It's that same spider.
Music just makes you want to tap your feet, doesn't it?
It sure does, Bystan. Yeah.
Hi there, newcomer.
Hi.
Thought I heard something over there. Make a pun about the painting.
I see everyone in that portrait has lovely locks.
If you have to make a pun, at least make a good one.
Is that from a famous locksmith band or something?
My mother's band, the Golden Keys. They were named after some actual golden keys that she spent a bunch of time looking for.
Is your mom, a couple doors down by any chance?
That's an impressive machine.
Yep. This wouldn't be much of a lock shop without a key grinder.
We can try the key grinder. Or we can ask about it anyway.
Handsome looking parrot.
And also vicious. But it was my mother's favorite.
Are these for customers?
Hands off. Those are my last crackers.
Hey, I was just asking. Oh, sweet.
These are nice.
It's a locksmithing test.
Close it all up, and if you get the key out, you pass?
That's the beginner level, yes. The real challenge is to lock the larger box inside the smaller one.
Interesting. I thought I saw another thing. Oh well.
What's this key?
That's for a lockable quiver.
Like for a boat?
What's that lock?
That's for hats.
Very specific.
I see a peninsula trailing off into small islands, but no X marks the spot.
It's southern Florida. I have family there.
At the end of the plank.
My mother's. Please don't touch it.
Touch it. Wonder if we get more,
What's this lock?
It's meant for bachelors to secure their apartments.
Yes.
What's that lock?
A special one that can open with any of 4 different keys.
What's this lock?
A famous lawyer used that to keep people from stealing his front doormat.
Interesting.
What's this lock?
That's for sealing a container full of evaporated gas.
What's this lock?
It's for a small jazz band to lock up their gear.
What's that lock?
It's meant for bachelors to secure their apartments.
What's that lock?
It's meant for bachelors to secure their apartments.
I think we hit all of them.
What's this key?
That one is only for going in, never for coming out. And please, don't touch the glass.
What's that key?
That one's for making a quick exit from somewhere you're trapped.
What's that key?
That opens a long, straight wardrobe for keeping long, straight dresses.
Ooh.
What's that key?
That activates a mechanical kettle.
What's this key?
That unlocks your house. And please, don't touch the glass.
My house specifically, or
What's this key?
That activates a mechanical kettle.
I think
What's
that's
this
it.
key?
That opens a long, straight wardrobe for keeping long, straight dresses.
Okay.
Please, don't touch the glass.
Must keep touching the glass. Oh, hello.
What is that? It's definitely not a key. Or a lock.
It's a fishing lure, of course.
Of course.
Let's see. I think we successfully looked at everything. Now we can talk. Very important.
I'm Guybrush Threepwood.
Pleased to meet you. I'm Locke Smith.
You're kidding, right?
Nope. And before you ask, yes, they did. Yes, it was. And they really, really wanted me to follow in the family business.
Oh, we can ask about the old lady across the way.
It's really clean in here. Do you have a mop I could use?
I simply don't allow filth to accumulate in the first place. Try somewhere a little less sanitary, like the bar by the docks.
And how do you do that? You just will it so?
Can you really make keys for stuff? That seems like a magic trick.
Modern locks have serial numbers that tell me all I need to know. No tricks necessary, just information.
It seems wrong that you can make a key from just the serial number.
It's a failsafe, in case people lose their key. You know how people are.
Aren't locks way less secure if all you need is a number to get a new key?
That's why you should never share the serial number with anyone.
But apparently someone can just look inside and...
What happens if you lose your key and the serial number at the same time?
The numbers are usually engraved on the locks, just in case. And if you lose the lock, chances are you don't need a new key.
Well, what's to stop me reading the serial number on someone else's lock and having a key made?
The numbers are printed small enough that you need a special tool to read them. Only a pro would have a tool like that.
Oh, well, if you have to be a pro, then I guess it's fine.
Can I borrow your lock serial number reading tool?
I don't
My
actually need it, but...
magnifier? Not a chance. I could be drummed out of the union for that. If you want to play locksmith, you'll have to look elsewhere.
Tell me again about how to have keys made. It's exciting.
You bring me the serial number from the lock, I make the key. It's pretty straightforward.
Who's the old lady in the window across the way?
You mean Whitey Bones. She used to be the Undertaker here years ago. Seems to know a lot of things that maybe don't quite fit together.
How well do you know Whitey Bones?
Not well at all. But she's been living near my shop for quite a few years. She was across from my old location, too.
But she moved when you moved?
I'm sure it's just a coincidence.
Oh, yeah.
I'm on a quest to find the secret of Monkey Island.
Exciting. The story in my family is that the secret is sort of like a key. One that opens all locks at once.
That seems enormously useful.
Maybe. Depends on if you can close them again.
Some locks shouldn't be opened.
I think I'll browse around a bit.
Try not to touch anything. I've got a system, and I don't like it disrupted.
Luna Dragon, hey! Welcome. How's it going? How was the rest of stream?
This is the number for the jail cell lock. Can you make me a key from this serial number?
Sure. Good choice on the lock. These are really sturdy. It's the same kind they use over at the jail.
Ooh, wow. What a coincidence. I had no idea.
Nothing weird about that. Thanks, pal. Yes. The quarry looked really interesting. I was really into the story.
Can I try out your key grinder?
No. I wouldn't want you to lose any fingers.
squeaky.
These are nice.
Thanks.
Can I play with them? No. Okay. So I gotta ask about the keys again, the golden keys. Oh, you enjoyed it? You finished and saw... You mean who lived and died?
What more can you tell me about the golden keys?
Not much. I was just a kid, and mysteries have never been my thing. Too messy.
No.
Come on. Can I please try your key grinder?
Seriously, I don't much care if you grind off a finger. But I don't want to have to clean up afterwards.
Practical. I wouldn't want to either.
Oh, I'd really like some crackers.
Hands off. Those are my last crackers.
Handsome looking parrot.
And also vicious.
Okay, that's the same. Let's go. Let's check some of the trivia book. What does the sign at the Monkey Head location say? Ah, crap, I don't remember. The Bermuda Customs form has how many questions? I don't even remember what that's referring to. Ah! I'm not good at trivia. Well, maybe later. Actually, let's do a manual save. It's been a minute. These slots are confusing to me. Wait, did it say? Yeah, okay. You get to actually walk the path now. Take the back way into the island's interior. Governor's mansion. Ah! Excuse me.
Carla.
Guybrush Threepwood.
Hello, Swordmaster.
Prepare to taste my blade, you washed up hack.
I guess this?
Anything but your cooking.
Low-hanging fruit, but it works.
It's nice to see you again.
You too.
Is the Quarry the sequel to Before Dawn? Oh, same devs maybe? I'm not sure I know Before Dawn. Actually, it sounds vaguely familiar, but I don't know. Should never get a Swordmaster. Do we want to remind her about how we helped her get a cushy government job? Remember? Huh?
You've come far since I got you your first cushy government job.
I hope you're not about to try to take credit for me being governor, because that would be both absurd and obnoxious, and I might have to skewer you for it.
No, furthest thing from my mind.
I heard from your wife. She's coming by to talk about scurvy legislation. I assume you're involved with that somehow?
Let's see. Elaine said that program is being hampered by Captain Madison. Ooh.
Elaine said that program is being hampered by Captain Madison.
Not the legislative part, just the public funding. The town was in a bind a while back, and that so-and-so, Captain Madison, saw an opportunity. She lent us the cash we needed, but now we're up a creek paying the interest. Things like social programs, waste management, and town maintenance are all on the back burner.
I like that woman less every minute.
You and me both.
Well, the mansion hasn't changed much. Elaine's style is still everywhere. Even the books are hers.
They're my books now, as you well know.
I'm looking for the secret of Monkey Island.
Good for you. I don't have it.
I don't really have anything to say. I just like doing this.
Practice is nice, but I'm busy these days. Governor stuff.
They also did Hidden Agendas, crime thriller.
It's thicker than I would have imagined.
That was, oh, I didn't read the title out loud. Here we go. Ship-to-Ship Combat Strategies by Captain Madison.
Warning, do not try these tricks at home.
It's voodoo tricks you can do at home. Don't try at home. Nice. The Endless Tale of the Voyage That Would Not End.
I tried to read that once, but I couldn't finish it.
Clever. Big book of treasure maps.
Does not include Secret of Monkey Island. Oh.
What about just Monkey Island? Ingredients by Barbie LaFleur?
It's a cookbook. It has 4 stars, but it looks like they're for difficulty.
But we know a Morgan Le Fay. The autobiography of John Laney.
Note to the reader. No disguised secrets are revealed in this book.
Should I know who John Laney is?
The blurb says it's a solid if somewhat predictable story about a roguish pirate and a doomed romance with a woman of station.
What's her name? The old lady said something about a woman of station, didn't she? At the end of the plank. Well, it stands out, so I'm gonna borrow it.
A book?
You've got a lot of nerve asking that. You never brought back the last book you borrowed. I had to buy another copy. You never even apologized.
What if I did now?
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm hearing the words, but somehow they aren't helping. I need more than that.
Ooh, hey, hold on, this is very important. Trivia card. Before I move on with the book thing, I'm gonna look around more.
Edgy.
The official portrait of the governor's sword. I just got that. It's not the sword, it's a portrait of the sword.
Ugh, looks like Carla wasn't too keen on getting her portrait done.
What even? Yeah, she said some man was doomed because he got involved with a woman of station. Alright, this thing. Not only is it itchy, but it keeps slipping. Reflecting old memories.
I always thought this looked like my old ship, the Sea Monkey.
Sigh, poke. Oh my god, that's cool. Oh, that's just out. take it off if needed. No, it's not. It doesn't work without the wig. Ooh, can we wander around the house? I mean, I kind of feel like maybe Carla would not be thrilled about that.
Elaine told me that's Lauder Neckbeard, second governor of Melee Island. His overly strict morals and overly lax regulatory policies helped make the island what it is today.
Oh, lovely.
I've seen that same painting on a box of frozen instant cereal.
Frozen instant cereal? Oh, hey, she got a carpet with a big C on it. Stuffed animal? Well, we can pet the stuffed animal.
I like your stuffed, guess it's a dog?
Please, take that and throw it away. It was a gift from the Earl of Thickwater, who is a contemptible pig.
Oh, well, thank you. Government in action.
It's a lot of work being governor.
Sword fight. That's how we talk. It's just this very nice twirl with the sword there.
I don't really have anything to say. I just like
Oh,
doing this.
okay.
Practice is nice, but I'm busy these days. Governor stuff.
Alright, let's try to borrow the book
Can I
again.
borrow a book?
You never brought back the last book you borrowed. You never even apologized.
Oh, yeah, I did. Like 5 minutes ago.
I'll pay for it.
I don't need your money.
Oh, god damn it. Then what do you want?
Can I borrow a book?
You never brought back the... You never even apologized.
I totally forgot.
Of course you did. You think like a cow.
Okay. State-of-the-art pen. He squeezed the
It's
stuffed
soft
animal.
and extra fuzzy.
What ocean species cannot be found in the fish shop on Melee? Was a fish shop on Melee? Well, clearly I'm not getting that one. Let's see if she lets us.
Stay out of my bedroom, Threepwood.
Figured. Huh.
Can I borrow a book?
She doesn't want money. She apparently doesn't want an apology.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm hearing the words, but somehow they aren't helping. I need more than that.
And she doesn't say what she wants. Would you like my hint book? Equal or greater value than the book that I lost. Well, I have some things that I know I can do now, so let's go free Otis, I guess.
Hey, Guybrush!
Hey, kid.
Let's,
No offense, but I want to be sure you don't waste your whole day in here. A Guy like you's got things to do.
Yeah.
Otis, the authorities have reconsidered your case and decided that you should go free.
I'm very grateful to the authorities and will not mention their name should any awkward questions be asked. Good luck, Stan. I hope you get acquitted.
Oh, it's in the bag, friend, but thanks. Hot diggity, what a day, huh?
Got an achievement for that.
I'll stay on this side of the bars, just in case.
It's got a little wheel. I don't know if that's how that works in real life. Alright.
Jail is like a bad breakfast. Small, greasy, and hard to swallow.
I can't think of anything else here. Can you talk to her somewhere?
Everybody thinks they know more than the other.
Nothing new though?
The queen always gives way to a new queen.
Excuse me. Maybe I'll revisit those cryptic clues later. Like when I know more, maybe. Do I have anything else that I know I can do? Not really. Criticize the statue. Oh, hello. Trivia card. Will I ever get another trivia card that I know the answer to? Herman Toothrot first appeared in... Well, the first game. Come on. Yeah, got one. Got an easy one. I might look up the answers to the other ones later. If I ever remember. Yeah, we haven't even left town yet. There's gotta be tons of stuff we can do. Checking back here because I'm pretty sure... Oh, I thought that was a trivia card. I'm pretty sure I saw a mob in here. Oh, that's a trivia card. Sweet.
Yo-ho!
Hi, Cobb. Hard to believe after all these years you're still here.
I was declared a historical landmark.
Yeah, the place does seem different from what I remember.
It's this new, younger generation of pirate leaders. Oh, they're highfalutin dark magic. Look at us. We're so much better than you because we don't drink grog before getting married.
Wait,
These
really?
kids today are all about sacking and pillaging. They've got no heart.
I'm gonna find the secret of Monkey Island. Wanna come?
I heard the secret is just some marketing gimmick Stan thought up. That only the gullible and naive would go looking for it.
That sounds about right.
Tell me about Loom.
Oh, I'm so sick of pirates asking me about Loom. Get lost.
Then why don't you take off the Ask Me About Loom button?
My grog-riddled body is fused with it. I'm more button than man at this point.
I haven't played it yet, but it does look like my sort of thing. Just there. Ooh, there. I hate it when it sloshes like that. Yeah, nothing major.
Oh, come on. Tell me about Loom. For old time's sake.
Beat it.
it.
No.
Say it.
Fine. You mean the latest masterpiece of fantasy storytelling from Lucasfilm's Brian Moriarty? Why, it's an extraordinary adventure with an interface of magic, stunning, high-resolution 3D landscapes, sophisticated score, and musical effects. Not to mention the detailed animation and special effects, elegant point-and-click control of characters, objects, and magic spells. Beat the rush. Go out and buy Loom today.
Oh, I heard it was
Get lost.
free on Amazon Prime, I think. Or Twitch Prime. Got an achievement for that. Yeah, I have it on GOG. But, I think I remember hearing that it was on, Twitch Prime this month.
Nice talking to you.
Yeah, yeah.
No, wait, it was,
Yarr.
oh, come on, really? No, I don't know that. I recognize at least this symbol from the graffiti around town. Right, there's a mop. Are the maggots spreading? I could swear they were only here before. But gross.
Well, it's definitely a mop. It's like a miniature dance party. Remind me never to eat here again.
It's super gross.
The plaque says, in memory of looming seagulls of old.
Alright. Oh, hey. It's a trivia card. The first game to use the SCUM system. Maniac Mansion? Because that's what the MM stands for. I'm not positive though. I'd look it up later. Maybe the maggots help keep the meat from spoiling. Yeah, you think it's Maniac Mansion 2? I do think so. What happens if you get it wrong anyway? Yes!
Ugh, I remember that stench as if it were yesterday.
Wonder if I missed all these cards the first time around, or if you get new ones after scene changes and stuff. In which case, I guess they'll be easily missable.
What was that you were trying to tell me about mops before?
The mop is the formal tool of a cook. Not as clumsy or random as a dish rag. An elegant tool for a more civilized cleaning. You cannot hope to succeed with the mop of another.
I can't?
You must construct your own. A single, perfect instrument that you will keep and use for a lifetime.
Well, let's hope it doesn't come to that.
You
Once
probably
you
might want to
build
get
it,
more
the
than one
mop will become your constant companion.
over a lifetime.
Your tool and a ready means of defense against spills of all kinds.
Ew, don't wave that near me.
Build it?
The wood is the heart of the handle. The heart is the handle of the cook. You are one.
Not helpful so far.
You must find a particular tree. A tree uniquely suited to the handles of mops. Carve your handle from a limb of that tree. Any questions?
How do I find the mop handle tree?
I can't tell you exactly where it is, because this is your own personal journey.
This mop business is going to be a lot more complicated than I thought.
What kind of wood is the tree?
That is something you must discover for yourself.
What about the head of the mop?
Oh, you have to have one, of course, but pretty much anything will do. It's mostly about the handle.
Are you sure I can't just buy a mop? Yours, for example.
No, you've got to make one. Trust me on this.
Okay, I guess I'll do it. What's wrong?
You gave the story the wrong title. It should be called Mop Quest. When do we get to the piratey parts?
Even the coolest professions involve more mopping up than you would think. It seemed crazy to me at the time too, but don't forget, it was all so I could board a ship, take command, and sail to Monkey Island. But first, I had to make a mop.
Alright, I need some eye drops. Eyeball maintenance. Time. Oh, yeah, that's better.
Stay away from my mop.
I wasn't very surreptitious. I'm gonna have a look at the to-do list. Talk to pirate leaders, get money. Use wads of cash to outfit expedition, crossed out. Get or find ship, crossed out. There we go. Join LeChuck's crew, solve problem. Quartermaster recognizes me and will hire me. Get a mop, crossed out. Make a mop. Find the mop handle tree. Seize LeChuck's ship at the earliest opportunity. Find the secret of Monkey Island and relive the glory days. Well, since I'm here, I might as well see if we have any
Sure, I can't
dialogue.
persuade you to back my expedition to Monkey Island?
Yes.
Okay. That was easy. Seriously, that looks like a trivia card and it's bothering me. Can I get that? Just real... Yeah. Avast! Gonna do a real quick search to see if I missed any trivia cards on the screen. And let's Let's check out the rest of the island. Actually, wait, did I? Yeah, that was the Chuck ship.
Re-elect Governor Carla. She's tough on toughness.
Seriously, that owl is cute though.
Hi again. Oh, those new pirate leaders are real jerks. They laughed at me, and they won't fund my expedition. Why didn't you warn me?
Would you have listened?
Of course. Okay, no, probably not.
I felt it too full when it sloshed. All fine. Aha. Bam. A lot of trivia cards. Well, I shouldn't be surprised. There were a lot of pages to this thing. The Mad Monkey. Oh, I don't remember. Like maybe if I saw the card, but I'm afraid that once I see the card, I'll have to pick an answer. And what if you only get one shot to get the answer right? Oh! That's us, the little glowing guy there. We can check out the shipyard. Stan said he wants a toothbrush. If it doesn't get added to the to-do list, is it optional, or is it they only add major stuff to the to-do list? Huh. We can't go to the little mini island with Meat Hook? A lot of okay. Don't have a lot of options this time around.
Wow, it's worse than I imagined.
Tan's previously owned vessels.
It says Tan's previously owned vessels. So sad. Stan's used to be the best place to buy used ships.
It's the only place.
I remember when these torches lit up Stan's previously owned vessels like a carnival. The assets of this establishment have been seized to settle a class action lawsuit. Have a nice day. The window's all boarded up, and it's very dark in there. Is that an old toothbrush?
Can I get it? The island map is spoopy. Looking very season appropriate. Ah, there we go.
It always looks bigger on this side of the island.
It's pretty freaking big.
There was a time when every mooring would be filled with one of Stan's used ships. There was a time when every mooring would be filled with one of Stan's used ships. It's a dried up old sea sponge.
Is it the voodoo sea sponge?
Stan used this to clean his ships. It's all rusted out now.
Oh, Sponja Grande. This whole time it was supposed to be a Sponja.
Stan used this to clean his ships. It's all rusted out now. This used to be such a bright, cheery place. It's sad to see the shipyard like this. Oh, I remember the first time Stan tried to fleece me.
You always remember the first time.
If a ship was shot full of holes, Stan would stick oars in them and call it a galley. If a ship was shot full of holes, Stan would stick oars in them and call it a galley.
Is there anything more this way? No.
I remember when these torches lit up Stan's...
Alright. Let's see.
It's good for relieving stress.
Appreciate the jail key.
This is awesome. Now I can open one of the jail cells.
It's boarded up. Boarded up, not locked. Well, maybe. Ah, I forgot. That's not how that works. And then there.
I don't want to wreck my brand new shiny knife.
You're gonna wreck it eventually. Oh, forgiveness frog.
The voodoo lady said it was a forgiveness frog.
Alright, I'm gonna try that on Carla. Okay, oh yeah, I got a new thing. Production for Monkey Island. No, I don't remember shit like that. Come on. Oh god. Wait, what was that? Oh yeah, fish shop. How state of the art is this pen? Gotta use the horse armor. Fruit Slice! Welcome to the stream. Thank you so much for the raid. Hey everybody! Welcome raiders! How's everyone doing tonight? The game of the night is Return to Monkey Island. We're pretty early in. How's your stream? Get a shout out, please. Hey, Tough Cookie! Welcome. You've heard many good things about the series. It is a great series. I'm liking the new game so far. You're playing Yakuza Like a Dragon. Feeling a little sleepy but doing well. Yeah, stream can take a lot out of you. Even when it's a good time. Which one is that? That's later in the series, right? One of the newest ones, I think?
Warning. The dark forest ahead is deadly and twisty. Maps are highly recommended.
Dang.
Warning. The dark forest ahead is deadly...
Okay, it's the same sign. Into the deep dark forest where I'm sure to get lost. Yep, it's the newest. First to be turn-based. And thanks for the lurk. Enjoy your stream unwinding time. And can I walk around a little without getting lost? I think so. Hello, trivia card. Ooh. This is new. Is this Carla's old place? Yeah, this used to be Carla's place.
Oh, I used to love these when I was 6.
It reminds me of this store called Plant World. Sold plants. They used to have they used to put up in October this giant pumpkin that you could climb inside of. Yeah, I miss that old pumpkin. The store closed down a few years ago now. Gone forever. So many things. Yeah, it's the pumpkin.
Museum of Pirate Lore.
Like, even past the point where I was too old to still play in that thing, I'd see it and go like, yay! The pumpkin's up!
I used to love these when I was 6. Until I got trapped in one for 2 days.
Ooh.
I think they're illegal now.
What did it say?
Museum of Pirate
just
Lore.
Nothing specific. Alright, let's check out the museum.
Hi there. Welcome to the Melee Island Museum of Pirate Lore. I'm Conrad, the curator and docent here. I also edit the Pirate Times newsletter. Here, take my business card.
Thanks.
The museum showcases the largest collection of pirate memorabilia in the Caribbean. Or on Melee Island at the very least. The provenance of each item has been very carefully researched and fact-checked by myself and my team. Authenticity is our watchword and our pledge. Feel free to explore. And if you have any questions, just ask.
I look forward to picking out all the inaccuracies.
What's this melted lump of metal?
It used to be a mug. It was melted by some kind of acid. It was
Grog.
found in the Melee jail many years ago, after an incident where like 20 pirates escaped.
One.
Hey, I did that. I had to keep pouring the grog from mug to mug because it was melting them. I had an armload of mugs, and I juggled them all the way from the scum bar to the jail. Also, I could get Otis to join my crew. Not my greatest decision in retrospect.
That's a pretty wild story.
You don't believe me?
It's not a question of belief.
Never mind. It's not important.
Alright, enjoy your lurk as well. I mean, you have to admit, Guybrush, you need a little more to update museum's lore than just your word.
That map looks familiar.
That's 1/4 of the original map to the treasure of Big Whoop. I got it from the cartographer on Low Street. Apparently, he was somehow involved in the search for Big Whoop.
About all Wally managed to do was get kidnapped by LeChuck's henchmen.
That's not the way he tells it.
I'm just trying to help.
Thanks. I've got it under control.
Well, he also got his monocle rudely stolen.
Why do you have this big gear?
It's from the Melee Clock Tower, stolen during a pirate raid nearly 75 years ago. It was recently found at an inn on St. Martin, where it was being used to mill corn. I traded some old furniture for it that we had in the back room.
Has anyone thought about putting it back in the clock?
Nah. If the clock started working, it would only confuse people.
No, not. I got it under control. Like, I don't believe you, sir. I mean, just because it's true doesn't mean he has, his suspicions aren't warranted, you know, like, some guy walks in and tells you everything you think you know is a lie.
That's a nice ore.
The one with the coffin, yeah. The coffin had a lot of water damage when I got it from the voodoo lady in town. but I managed to restore it. It was used by a certain well-known captain in a daring escape from a Turkish prison.
The water damage is actually from the swamp on Scab Island.
Unlikely. The prison in question is nowhere near Scab Island.
You should think about hiring a research assistant.
Oh, I did. Unpaid, of course. Intern.
Okay.
Tell me about this hunk of wood.
That's an original plank from the Golden Hind, autographed by Francis Drake himself.
Hey there, Fantastico. Welcome. How's it going? Ooh, I can poke it. Hey, Well. Hold on. Thought it moved a little more aggressively that one time.
Is this a left hook or a right hook?
That once belonged to the dread pirate Meat Hook. Supposedly he was ambidextrous. Also, he used to live right here on Melee.
I think that's actually accurate. Or at least he had two hooks. Does that make him ambidextrous, maybe?
What's the significance of the peg leg?
That belonged to the infamous Peg Leg Patty. She used to hide a spare cutlass in it, in case of capture. Sadly, that's the reason she's no longer with us.
Peg Leg Patty.
What was this cinder you got on the wall?
Oh, that. Yeah, that was an unsent love letter written by Elaine Marley while she was governor of the island.
What? Elaine?
The recipient was referred to only as Plunder Bunny.
That's me!
It was a really touching letter. Unfortunately, I put the candle too close to it.
What did it say? Tell me what she said.
Oh, you know, love letter stuff. Honestly, I don't remember a word of it, but it was touching.
Thanks a lot.
Yeah, good job. Maybe if I ask again, he'll remember.
Actually, I think I'd rather not hear about that again.
Can I see if any words remain at all? Oh, I've got a business
Pirate
card.
Times. Editor Conrad Lee. Ready to publish your unrecognized genius.
Apparently not. Thanks for doing the shout out, Fel. Ah, yes, the Shadowgate. It was a very enjoyable stream.
That is a really big parrot. Wonder how many hands it's eaten. What do you feed it?
Thieves, mostly.
Good to know.
Yay, welcome back with food. Anything yummy?
It's a working parrot. I shouldn't bother it. What's the story with the wanted poster?
That is the earliest known wanted poster for Captain Kate Capsize. You can tell how notorious she was by the huge number of crimes listed there. Very impressive. I got it from a collector on Fat Island.
Those are my own crimes, actually. I was pretty much public enemy #1 on Fat Island at the time. I stuck Kate's picture on there so she'd get thrown in jail.
That would never work. Nobody's that clueless in real life.
I'm telling you the truth.
I'm sure you are, but it just doesn't quite square with the official record. So it's hard to substantiate.
Substantiate? You've got an eyewitness.
Eyewitnesses are notoriously inaccurate. Human memory is plastic and suggestible.
Not yours, apparently.
No, of course not. I deal in facts.
Just leftover pizza. Well, I hope you enjoy it. You saw a picture of a bunch of people eating pizza today and you've been thinking of pizza ever since. You weren't sure how you're going to feel about the art style change, but it's nice, you think? It's not my favorite, but it's fine. I like the environments more than the faces, I think. Pardon. Closer to the desk here.
What can you tell me about this eye patch?
That's the pride of the collection. It belonged to Captain John Laney, the pirate of 1,000 faces. Supposedly, it had voodoo powers that would disguise him. I tried it on though, and nothing happened.
Why does that sound familiar? You're gonna say the same thing? Yeah. What sort of thing is subjective?
There's some very tiny writing on it.
Oh, is that so?
Well, the numbers are a little clearer, but still too tiny to read.
Curses. Too tiny to read. Probably need that special tool she has.
Eye patch worn by Captain John Laney, the pirate of 1,000 faces.
Click. Quietly open the display case.
The display case is locked.
Also, I feel like that parrot would rat us out.
How on earth do you have that note?
Oh yeah, that's very interesting. That was found tucked inside of a book at the Fat Island Library. It's the actual note left by the ghost pirate LeChuck when he kidnapped Governor Marley.
I know what it is. The lookout handed it to me just before I finished my 3 trials. I was crushed, but undaunted. I gathered a crew and I sailed to Monkey Island to save her. Not that she needed it, as it turned out.
Wow, man, you're really into this. I've got a role-playing group on Thursday nights.
This is absurd. It's like this whole wall is stuff from my personal adventures, but somehow I'm not even mentioned in your stories.
That's what's so great about this museum. Everyone makes their own connections with the exhibits, and it's highly personal and different for everyone.
That's mine.
Not what I'm trying to say at all.
That's okay. You don't need to say anything. Just listen to what the exhibits tell you.
Fine.
Yes, or would it parrot you out? No, no, no. Oh, thank you. You need to try that game and other games that Deb makes. I really liked Kathy Rain. I haven't tried Whispers of Machine yet, but I do have it in my library. I just noticed he's got a fake peg leg thing. Or, well, the peg leg is maybe real. It's just that it's just kind of strapped to his knee. Let's see. Yeah, y'all liked it too, right? Excellent modern point and click. Okay, nothing in the corner. I suppose. Oh, there's a storeroom. Well, we should talk to the guy. Your museum is quaint.
I'm Guybrush Threepwood.
No kidding? Wow! Are you named after Guybrush Threepwood?
I guess you could say that.
Nice.
Psst. I'm going to find the legendary secret of Monkey Island.
Oh, that's excellent! Super retro. If you need a place to display it, I know a convenient museum.
Fat chance.
Your museum is quaint.
Thanks. It's been a personal passion of mine. I'm nuts about old-timey pirate stuff.
Old-timey?
Being around it really makes you feel like you're a part of something. Doesn't it?
I am part of something.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's a pretty good crowd for adventure game point-and-click recommendations, I think. I'm still working through the old backlog. It's a lot of classic stuff I never got a chance to play. Everyone should clear their schedule as soon as possible. Let me guess. This is about the Frog Detective news. 8 days. 8 days, folks. 7 and 13 minutes. They usually don't release games at midnight, so it's probably like a bit later.
Are any of these things valuable?
The security parrot isn't just here to look piratey. John Laney's eye patch is irreplaceable. It's the highlight of the collection. Amazingly, I got it at a yard sale. They didn't know what they had.
We might need that for our ship hijacking plans.
Do you have maps of the forest here?
No, that's not really what we do. Try the map shop in town?
Frog Detective 3.
Tell me about that newsletter of yours.
The Pirate Times. We publish pirate news, pirate stories, pirate poetry, all things piratey, really.
I see you wear a peg leg, despite having both of your original legs.
Just part of the docent's outfit, for the tourists. Kids always want to try it on.
That's charming and creepy at the same time.
This is a museum for people who think attacking ships and murdering the crew for profit sounds fun.
Touché. I'll have a look around.
Please do.
I am looking in your storeroom. I can't believe he let me just come in here. Cracker mix. Oh, also trivia cards, even better.
It's Cracker Mix. Some assembly required.
Boom. Mine. I wonder if the keymaker, locksmith, that was it, if she'll trade me the mix for some completed crackers. She said they're her last ones. How many ship masts can be seen in the street with the... Come on. Some of these questions. I don't know. I don't remember Stan's accountant's name. Oof. Really failing at this trivia. Yeah, we definitely looked at all this stuff. Alright, I might actually go into the forest that we are starting to get lost in, but I'm gonna save first. Is it Alt S? Yeah. Fourth well decimated. Bat friend. Oh. Here, the carnivorous plant.
A classic specimen of Alata needleus, a carnivorous vascular dicot known for its tasteful coloration, slight wiggle, and loads of tiny, sharp teeth.
Steam page. Yeah. Oh, hey, trivia card. You gave Kathy Rain a thumbs down. Huh. Maybe, you know, you didn't like it as much as you remembered?
Ooh, purple flowers. These must be catmint, or wisteria, or sweet rocket.
Can I grab them? Wait, that's illegal. I forgot. Which is a genuine skull name? Marie? It's a genuine skull. I'm afraid to click it because that's a weird question and I don't know if it's asking what I think it is. Just real quick since I got a card. Oh, yuck, mushrooms.
Ah. Ah. purple flowers. These must be lavender, or monkshood, or cyclamen.
It's different names each time, huh?
A classic specimen of Alata needleus.
Okay, I
A
think that one's
carnivorous
actually the
vascular
same.
dicot known for its tasteful coloration, slight wiggle, and loads of tiny, sharp teeth.
Is Kathy Rain the one that had a remake or something not that long ago? Yeah, director's cut last year. I actually got a free copy for my cosplay. that was a fun moment.
I'm hopelessly lost without a map.
Alright, okay. Let's see. Alright, let's go back to town. I guess we could just take the long route and see if there's anything new. You just read your review and it makes sense. You were probably influenced into thinking you liked it better at the time by my enjoyment of it. Oh well. I'm glad you at least enjoyed my stream. Update the lookout on my plans.
Hi again. I'm thinking about going on LeChuck's expedition after all.
I'm glad to hear you decided to patch things up.
No, he doesn't want me on the ship. I'm blacklisted. I'm gonna have to go in disguise.
These Shakespearean comedies just write themselves.
Hi there, little guy.
Hi.
He's happy the owl is just called cute little guy. It is cute though, right? Oh, it's adorable. Pass some time with the lookout.
See anything interesting out there?
Change. The future.
Are those the names of ships? All I can see is open water.
It's what I named my cataracts.
Huh. You've been at this post a long time.
Yep. My eyesight isn't what it once was, but my hearing is still as sharp as the governor's sword.
And that's helpful for being a lookout?
Yeah, there's hardly ever anything to see anyway. The job is mostly about greeting people. Welcome to Melee Island.
Thanks. Ever think about retiring?
Sure, sounds great. I'll get a little place where I can sit by the fire and watch the ocean.
That does sound nice.
Say.
You'll have to excuse me. I think I see something on the horizon.
Oh. Oh, you're frustrated with the puzzle design. Yeah, there's a lot of, I guess, sectioning. Oh, dang it. Eyes are drying out so fast. It's like they're not producing any fluid at all. Little spare drop there. This jacket's kind of getting in the way of the handle. And you're just glad it wasn't I hated it and everything about it and people who like this have no taste. Probably less frustrating to people who came up through the traditions. Yeah. It's very much my jam, I guess. No, not tab. What? Hold on. Yeah, it was tab. Sorry. I guess we can just check if anything's different. Probably not, though. Oh, the candle's new.
Fancy. Hi.
A candle and the guy.
Are you my waiter? I want the excellent dish I had at the governor's mansion last week. I don't know what it's called, but it was sort of, you know, a hot food.
Yeah, but I'm not.
It had ingredients in it or something.
Ooh, very specific.
I'm not your waiter.
I already told your incompetent cook this, but he still hasn't brought me my dinner.
I don't work here. I'm not a waiter.
Hop to it!
Right away, sir.
Are you sure he's a pirate?
Waiter, I can't understand why this is taking so long. Just bring me what the governor served me last week.
Of course, sir. Sorry for the delay.
Well, the governor served you last week. I might be able to ask Carla about it. Oh, you did a dungeon in FF14? Nice. Ooh, prepare the house for stuff tomorrow activities. Yeah, I had to leave just before the end as well. Yeah, the plot of that's pretty intense. Looks good.
Yo-ho.
You're not... You finished and you're not okay about most of the deaths? One you're pretty mad about. Are there are multiple endings, I'm assuming, from how it goes? No, that's good. You don't want to spoiler it. Not fun stuff. You have a cleaning service that comes every other week and they're coming tomorrow, so a bunch of tidying had to happen. Yeah. Deciding where stuff goes and all that. I don't think that...
You
actually,
look like the health inspector tasted your stew. Or you did.
Worse. Marlin is here.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about that guy.
The customer I have nightmares about. He's the only importer of yak fat on the island, so I need to keep him happy, but he makes that impossible. Today he wants me to make him a dish that he ate last week at some kind of event at the governor's mansion. But of course he doesn't remember what it's called or know what's in it or even remember what color it was. He says he thinks it has ingredients in it. I don't have the slightest idea what to make.
Okay. Behind you. Yeah, a lot of different paths and scenarios. So do you know if maybe you got one of the worst endings? Like, do you think you'd try again for a better ending? Mostly putting stuff away. See, usually when I have stuff lying out and about, it's because it doesn't really have a place, and I have to decide on one. So I hate it. Excuse me. Speaking of which, you need to wake up at 7 a.m. for that, so you should head to the zone of sleep. Understandable. Well, thank you for hanging out. Good luck tomorrow. And sleep well. Lumina, you're likely going to go through it again. You definitely didn't get the worst ending. Plenty of people did live. Yeah. You gotta try for the best.
Oh, where did he say he had the dish he wants you to make?
At the governor's mansion. It's probably some exotic, weird-tasting thing from a swanky cookbook.
If I brought you a recipe, could you make it?
Of course. I'm a cook. See the hat?
Oh, look behind you! A three-headed monkey!
I do know a great stew recipe for monkey heads. But I can't think about that right now.
I'll see what I can find out.
Thanks.
Aw. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Yeah, hopefully you can save everyone next time. Stand near the stove.
Pleasantly scorching hot.
Do I have anything in my inventory I want to heat up? Oh yeah, I should read the label on
Especially
this.
fortified for the healthy parrot diet.
Oh, that's it? Okay.
Pirate Times. Editor Conrad Lee. Ready to publish your unrecognized genius.
Alright. So we know now that things are going to keep changing, so it's a good idea to go into old locations even if we don't think we have anything new to see there, because like this one. Let's check out this place. We haven't seen it since the beginning.
How clever.
Le ship.
Expedition to fabled Monkey Island. Crew positions available. Serve under LeChuck, the most fearsome pirate on the 8 seas. Equal opportunity employer. Inquire here.
Apparently, you need to find everything so you'll see what happens. Yeah. Cute little thing in the picture frame. Looks like one of the characters from your other game. Sorry. Wig keeps slipping backwards. The findable things are notoriously difficult to find in that game. Okay, so like items around.
I hope this isn't one of those party cruises. No parking of demonic, ghostly, or undead vessels or scooters. Tuesdays 3 to 4.
Oh, the in the chef's room. The Pillsbury Doughboy.
Looks like this is going to be a long journey.
Items, updated evidence when you see something that pertains to some of the existing stuff too.
Hey.
What is it?
Nothing
Never
new.
mind.
Oh.
Hey, watch it!
Huh. We had a thing happen, but it doesn't seem like we can interact with anything new, like the broken window or anything like that. Okay. Let's ask Wally about a map of the forest.
It's a map on a fan. What'll they think of next? This must be Trouser Island.
Actually, Mr. Threepwood, it's...
Yep, Trouser Island. Looks expensive. And shiny. I like shiny.
You take more than one monocle?
Better to have one for each eye.
If you say so.
Maybe I'll be able to see.
It makes things look bigger.
Can I put it together?
One monocle is good, two is better.
Okay. So maybe now I can see the lock in the museum.
This was a good idea. They magnify stuff even better since I stuck them together.
I am a genius. Dr. Brain said so.
Ooh, those look fancy.
The finest tools to make the finest maps.
Hey, Wally. I'm looking for a tree to make a stupid mop from. Have you got a map for that?
So the cook has sent you on one of his spiritual journeys? Been a while since I made one of those mop tree maps. What kind of tree is it again?
I don't know. A wood one?
That's okay. Just bring me a sliver of the wood and I can work it out from there. I'm that good.
Wouldn't I have to... Hold on. If I had a sliver... Oh wait, maybe I can get a sliver from the mop. Okay. I was just... of the existing mop. I'm like, if I had a sliver of the tree, I could just... I would have the tree. Truly a genius after those games. Thank you. Okay.
Bye. Green, half off. Blue, half of half off. Yellow, half of half of half off. Orange, aren't you glad you're here? The curtains are for sale too?
Everything goes. They'd make a great dress.
It's got a lot of holes in it, though. Well, actually...
How much for the safe?
It is not for sale at any price. As I said, it has been placed with me for safekeeping.
Holy dress.
I'd need a lot of keys to open that.
It's true. The golden keys, even? Can I...
Scrollwork is nice, but there are no numbers here.
Scrollwork? Oh, right, the carvings, I guess.
The scrollwork is nice, but there are no numbers here.
Okay. Shiny.
Do you do gift wrapping?
We're out of wrapping paper, unless you'd like it wrapped in the skin of a lizard.
No thanks.
All my merchandise is top shelf.
Can't you at least wait until I say what I'm thinking? It's creepy. It says everything must go, but it says it with numbers.
Yeah, I'm not sure any of that was new. Right, that's where I heard about Lainey and the eye patch. I thought it might have been somewhere else.
Tell me again about Lainey and the eye
like
patch.
a different
Captain
game.
John Laney was renowned as the pirate of 1,000 faces. It was said that he could fool his best friend with nothing more than an eye patch. That legend is true, but only because the eye patch he used was filled with much voodoo magic. The eye patch still exists. It is on display at the Museum of Pirate Lore here on Melee Island. If an enterprising person, such as yourself, were to
Yes.
liberate it and bring it here, I could most likely get it working again.
Got it. Thanks.
You like this Voodoo Lady's design much more than the last one I saw in here? Those boots feel a touch out of place, but otherwise...
Got any other mystical advice or information for me?
No.
Okay. Anything I'd want to show you? Don't think so. It's fun, exaggerated big buckles and all. I'm into it. I don't dislike the boots. That just feels a little odd on her.
What's new, guys?
Not much, but be sure to come see us at the shop tomorrow.
Okay. What was this one again?
Property foreclosed
Okay.
by order of Madison Enterprises. The note says, forced to close. Thanks for the memories, but cash would have been better.
A lock is a beautiful thing. A key, even more so.
Welcome back.
Hi.
Hi. Would you accept a trade for those crackers?
I found some cracker mix. You could bake fresh crackers in your furnace.
Thanks. The ones on the plate were getting a bit stale. Take some if you want.
Don't mind if I do.
Yoink. Sweet. Alright. What else?
Handsome looking parrot.
And also vicious.
Yes, same. Oh yeah, I wanted to try the frog on Carla. I should check out the jail when I get back. Just in case there's something new. Everything in this game has big exaggerated shapes. You love it. Reminds you of German expressionism, like what Tim Burton was influenced by. Yeah, it does remind me of that. Can I give you this frog?
I've got enough to last me. This is for you.
You're giving me a frog?
It's a forgiveness frog, for when words aren't enough.
You haven't even bothered to write anything personal on this frog. That's just rude. I reject your frog.
Oh. Well, I do have a pen, but I do not know...
Well, apparently a forgiveness frog doesn't work if the apology you write on it isn't good enough.
I did not know I was supposed to write on it. Dear Elaine, no. Dear Carla.
Dear Carla.
Sorry for losing the book you borrowed.
Sorry for losing the book I borrowed.
Can I get more of these? Seems useful. Is that you are tough on toughness. Admire that you are hard on softness. No. I value that you are dedicated to dedication. Keen on bluntness. Okay, so her poster said tough on toughness.
I realize that you are tough on toughness.
Oh, this part I don't know. Santa Domingo, Santa Catalina, Port Elizabeth, Portobello. I think my gut is saying Santa Domingo, but I'm not positive. Forgiveness frog. It's a very silly joke.
as shown by your actions at Santo Domingo. Please accept my humblest apology.
For us to do better in the future, I've implemented a reminder system for myself where you scare the heck out of me. Try this.
I promise to do better in the future.
Let's see.
This is for you.
Dear Carla, I'm impressed, Guybrush.
Ah.
Surprisingly thoughtful. Considering it's you, I'm strangely moved to forgive you for losing my book. And I'll treasure this frog as a memento of the time you did something right.
You know, I know a museum where you could commemorate that for all to see. I did it! Yes, first try. I correctly guessed. Like, I feel like I saw something about Santo Domingo, but I'm not, like, wasn't positive. So I think this is the book we want, just because it stands out. And it did say something... What did it say that
the
you
blurb
think?
says it's a
Oh yeah,
solid,
the
somewhat
doomed
predictable
romance
story about a roguish pirate and a doomed romance with a woman of station.
Yeah, Carlo's great.
Can I borrow this book?
All right. I was upset after you lost the last one, but you seemed genuinely sorry, so I guess I'll give you another chance.
Thanks. I won't let you down. I'll definitely return this.
I have a feeling we're not going to return it.
The blurb says it's a solid and somewhat predictable story about a roguish pirate and a doomed romance with a woman of station.
Is that it? We can't examine it further? Huh. Maybe I grabbed the wrong book. There's scissors on the cover. Excuse me. Oh! Maybe I need this book, Ingredients by Barbie LaPlay. But I'm going to ask Carla about the recipe, though, if that's an option. The book was never seen again.
I've come for a recipe. A dish you served at a recent function. It's been described as hot and having ingredients in it. Ring any bells?
I do host plenty of functions, but I'm afraid I don't have any idea what you're talking about.
I don't really have anything to say. I just like doing this.
Practice is nice, but I'm busy these days. Governor stuff.
Okay, maybe I can borrow more than one book? I might not be able to borrow more than one at a time, but let's see.
Can I borrow this book?
One book at a time. I only trust you so far.
Okay, so I'm going to put this one back.
Thanks.
Thanks for returning my book. Maybe you have learned to be responsible.
Can I borrow this book?
Fine, fine.
Okay. Oh, wait. I was trying to examine it.
Note
There.
to the reader. No disguised secrets are revealed in this book.
Oh, okay.
Note to the reader. No disguised secrets are revealed in this book.
Oh, never mind.
Thanks for returning my book.
Let's try the ingredients book.
Can I borrow this cookbook?
Oh. This one's important, I guess.
You cook like a cow.
That's why I need the cookbook.
Fine, fine.
Thanks. I won't let you down. I'll definitely return this.
Okay. I think we got the right one. Oh, let's examine the book.
It's a cookbook. It has 4 stars, but it looks like they're for difficulty.
Alright. What else did I want to try? Pardon. guess we'll go to the chef. Oh yeah, I wanted to...
Hey, kid!
Sorry. Check if there's anything new at the jail.
Hey, Stan.
Hello there, son.
I've been to the shipyard. Your office is all boarded up, with your toothbrush sealed inside, presumably.
Well, don't worry yourself about it then, son. I found a dead centipede in the corner that should do until they let me out.
Oh no. I regret having coming back here. Never talking to you again. His arm's also gross. Can I clean this place up? No.
No offense, but I want to be sure you don't waste your whole day in here. A guy like you's got things to do.
I need a sliver of the mop. Sam, please, you see his wacky arms just out of frame. Love the wacky arms. He's like the personification of one of those wacky inflatable arm guys, wavy arm guys. I guess we can check if there's anything new.
Nice hat pin.
It's the emblem of a secret society I belong to.
Really?
Don't be ridiculous.
It looks just like the fishing thing in the locksmith shop.
Nice hat pin.
Beat it, creep.
Okay.
Yo ho.
What's that you're drinking?
Large, get lost.
What's that you're drinking?
Large, get lost.
The shady lawyer in jail? Can't say I don't want to let him out either. It's actually, oh well, yeah, he was a lawyer in Tales of Monkey Island, but he's usually a salesman of some kind.
Don't look now, but I think there's a leech on your chin.
Buzz off.
Insulting his facial hair.
Don't look now, but I...
Buzz. Talk to the nightmare customer.
Hi, Cobb.
You again. I know you.
Nice talking to you.
Yeah.
Can I...
Well, it's definitely a mop.
Stay away from my mop.
I just want a splinter of it. Well, that's not enough.
I found this at the governor's mansion.
Aha! The mystery dish must be in there. I have no idea which one it'll be, so I'll just have to make them all. I better get to work. Thanks,
Wow.
Rush.
Oh, all of them. Yes, he was wearing a pin for the game Loom. It's from the same guy as the in the first game. He was
Brilliant innovation.
It says ask me about Loom.
This will be excellent.
I want a sliver of the mop.
At least they look healthy.
Complain again. Ingredients indeed.
Oh, Loom is such a pretty game you have no desire to play yourself. Yes. Okay.
Seems like a lot, but okay.
I carved it off the cook's mop handle.
Oh, well,
good times.
probably fine.
I carved it off the cook's mop handle. Good times.
Alright. Sweet.
So much to do.
It's Carla's copy of Ingredients by Barbie LaFlay.
I do want to play Loom eventually. One day. So much on the old backlog. Okay, you can go see Wally. Have I got something for you?
Wally, here's a sample of the wood you wanted. Can you make me a map now?
10 minutes later.
Sure, here it is.
Thanks, Wally.
Fast work. Thing. New. No? No. I do have this map. Okay. Alright, I think this is, yeah, we're gonna navigate this based on the plants we see. Okay. Oh, and we're starting here from the museum. Got it. I was like, start from here? No. No. Hey Joe, welcome to the stream. How's it going? And yes, Kathy Rain cosplay. You didn't make it to the credits this time. Yes. Thanks. Can you get a shout out for Joe, please? Boop. What else? I do have crackers I could give to the parrot maybe, but first, since I want to have a look at that case and try to get a key for it, I'm going to go there first. There's the fastest way to the woods.
Once upon a time, I won a t-shirt right here on the front lawn.
Reminiscing. Hey Fel, do you think you could give Joe a shout out, please? Right, lock. We have a special double monocle now.
Ah, crystal clear. I'll just write that down.
Thank you. Five Nights at Freddy's security breach. How did that go? Was it terrifying? Oh, this parrot, right, because it's a different parrot. I should bribe this parrot once I have the key. Alright, good night, Fruit Slice. Thanks for hanging out. I hope you have a good sleep. Ooh. About halfway through security breach. Scary. Okay, let's check our handy map. Alright, we got
This is the one for the museum display case.
This might be easier if I make a note or something. Damn it goes small if I tab away. I can still make it out. Okay. Making a note. Purple. Oh, apparently I hit caps lock at some point. Purple flowers. Purple, purple, purple. So, wait, no. 1, 2, 3, 4 purple. Then mushrooms times 3. One, 2, 3, and then purple. Probably need something for the way back, but we'll deal with that later. Yes, I did. I got the horse pre-order bonus. I was like, pointless inventory item. You know I need that. Okay, so purple times 4. 1, 2. Oh, hello. Oh, can't play with the snake. 3. 4. Now, mushrooms times 3. 1, 2. 3. And then the purple. Yes. You can't believe what happened to Melee Island. Oh my god, it's cute.
It's like there's a welcoming committee.
So many cute animals.
Mind your mama, little prick the kids.
Oh.
Hey, little fella.
Frisky squirrel. There's so much going on the screen, even with like highlighting. I'm having a hard time.
Wow! The distinctive shape tells me this is the rare, endangered Melee Island mop handle tree.
Can I?
The distinctive shape tells me this is the rare, endangered Melee
definitely
Island mop
it.
handle tree.
Can I actually grab one, or? What? Okay. For a moment, I thought he was trying to will a branch to come off, which is just not super helpful. Yes, so cute animals. Oh my god. Guybrush, what have you done? What? They were hiding. What the hell did you do? Oh no! They're all crying. That squirrel's on fire. No. No. I'm legit sad. For reals. They're no. And the bat is crying and his tears are falling down.
It's probably time for them to fly south.
Right? Guybrush literally started a forest fire, but like how? What did you do?
I must have startled them while I was whittling. Some animals are quite skittish.
Like...
Another resource has given its all in support of my personal goals. It's what nature is for. Hey, little dear. Hey, little dear.
Why are you like this? Right? This is making me sad. For real sad. Is the whole forest like this, or just this one screen?
I'll take a shortcut back.
Many hours later. What the?
I carved it myself.
You sure did. Apparently I could use anything. Is this sponge work?
I made him up.
There we go.
It's a single perfect instrument that I will keep and use for a lifetime.
Oh, it's gonna last like a day. Is there anything else I can do at the shipyard? No. Oh, poor animals. Sadness. He doesn't want to pry off the boards. I wonder if I could have used the stuffed animal here. Yeah, I already made them up, it's fine. Or the shrunken head. I feel like I had options. Oh well. Shortcut to the locksmiths.
Hi there.
Hi there.
Ah, she's made more crackers. Can I give one to the parrot?
It already looks well fed.
Yeah, okay.
Can you make me a key from this serial number?
Sure. This will be for a high-end display case. You a collector?
Yeah. Stamps.
Pardon. Oh, I can buy the lure.
How much for the fishing lure?
It's not for sale.
No.
This is a locksmith shop. Perhaps you saw the sign outside?
Because the other pirate had like an identical one, so I just kind of thought it might be relevant. Which, I mean, it still might be. I just can't buy it. Snicker about the museum display case key.
What more can you tell me about the golden keys?
Not much. I was just a kid, and mysteries have never been my thing. Too messy.
Mysteries. May I interest you in, huh.
I see everyone in that portrait has lovely locks.
If you have to make a pun,
Oh.
at least make a good one.
It's just the same one. I thought maybe there would be a whole bunch of silly jokes. Okay, I can go back to the museum. Was there anything else? I still can't get into stands. I don't know if that's something I can actually do. Like, was getting his toothbrush a joke mission that you can't actually do?
It seems to be stuck closed.
And never go back because I don't have her book. Gave it away. Let's see, I should save before I try what I'm trying here. Which I'm sure it wouldn't lock off progress, but it's still, yeah, it's a good idea. And run. Meanwhile, at the mansion.
What do you expect me to do, Elaine? Issue a proclamation?
Of course not, Carla. We'll need to generate public support. I'm working on that.
People around here don't like any kind of restrictions, even if it's for their own good.
But we can put a requirement on ships traveling to the north. There's already a customs check, so the infrastructure is all in place.
But it's a start. Scurvy's a big problem. Let's do all we can.
Agreed.
I've come a long way. Is there anything else on the agenda?
Coffee?
Hey, golden key. Okay. Let's see. I got the eye patch and the mop. I guess, I can't figure out the shipyard thing. I'm still not sure if it's something I'm actually supposed to do.
The assets of this establishment have been seized to settle a class action lawsuit. Have a nice day.
Could put on the eye patch. doesn't want to use the knife. Alright, I really don't see an option here. Hopefully I'm not missing out on something here. I want to get on that meeting with Elaine and the person with the golden key. Because that seems important. And looks like the meeting's already over. I need to talk to you about the meeting you just had that I had a vision of.
I don't really have anything to say. I just like doing this.
Boo.
Practice is nice, but I'm busy these days. Governor stuff.
Okay. In that case, I guess, I can't think of anything to do other than get my disguise on.
Classic and subtle.
Oh wait, no, I need to bring
But I don't need to be wearing this right now.
I need to bring the eye patch to the voodoo lady first. I can't just go and wear it. I forgot. I did indeed.
Can you fix this?
Ah, the famous eye patch disguise of John Laney. As I suspected, magic has long since drained away.
Good. Great. So, can you charge it up again?
I can. If you bring me one more thing.
Of course.
A particular charm of great power.
You couldn't have told me this earlier?
I could have. You must bring me the bite of 1,000 needles. Then I will recharge your eye patch.
The bite of 1,000 needles. Can you be a tiny bit more specific?
Papa Pichu.
All right. Let's see what I can do.
There was that plant in the forest. You saw the going out of business sign. You thought the voodoo lady was just trying to be clever. You didn't realize she'd actually be going out of business. Even the voodoo lady's powers are no match for the new ownership around here. I'll just...
What's new, guys?
Not much, but be
Check.
sure to come see us at the shop tomorrow.
Check for newness. Anything new? Looks the same.
Hey, Wally. It's the pirate life for me.
Yep.
Good job. Good talk.
You can find a golden key, but you cannot own it.
It's true, I saw one recently.
Everybody thinks they know more than the other.
I tried to tie my hair up a bit higher so that it wouldn't tug the wig backwards, but apparently it's just not enough. The clown. Check on Stan real quick.
Hey, Stan.
Hello there, son.
Are you sure you don't want me to break you out?
115%, son, but thanks.
You love how this version of Melee Island is Monkey Island, one's Melee Island.
See you later.
Yep.
Just check if anything's new.
Hello, Mr. Brush.
Hi.
Oh, you remembered half my name. Now that you think about it, is Escape from Monkey Island the only other time we go to Melee? I think so. Oh, actually, you know what? I want to see how, the dishes went over. Do I need the fancy candle?
Waiter, I can't
Oh, he still
understand why
hasn't
this
gotten
is
his
taking
food.
so long. Just bring me what the governor served me last week.
Of course, sir. Sorry for the delay.
Okay. Steal the candle. I don't know. This customer is funny. Yeah. It contains ingredients. It's taking so long.
Busy?
Yup.
Check it out.
He'll never
Look at my new mop.
complain again.
I made it myself.
That's a fantastic mop. Absorbent, expertly carved handle. It should last you a lifetime of fine mopping.
Thank you.
Teaspoons and a
I only
tablespoon.
ruined an entire force to get it.
Do I really have to salt it so often?
Do I want to take the cookbook
So much
back?
to do.
Like, is there another book I might need? I don't know. It's a possibility, at least. The shape of this desk is awkward. I need space to stretch my legs out. There we go. It's kind of better. Oh, this is probably full. Yeah. Alright, good night, Tough Cookie. Have a good sleep. I'm glad you made it. It was good having you. Right, I need... Ah, yes, the forest. I need that 1,000 needle dealy thing. Wonder if we go back to the museum, if we get in trouble.
Oh, hi. I've got some bad news. Someone stole John Laney's eye patch.
What?
No. Some people have no
Oh.
respect for private property.
It must have happened right after you left. Did you see anyone on your way out?
Not a soul.
Actually, now that you ask, I actually did see someone on the way out. Captain Madison? Weird, huh?
Crossword?
No, as a matter of fact. I'm working on acquisition leads. The museum hasn't got a centerpiece now because someone walked away with my eye patch. I'm not sure how they got past the guard parrot. But rest assured, I'll be beefing up security immediately.
Good idea. That is a really big parrot. Wonder how many hands it's eaten.
I feel like with the wanted poster we could prove our story because since we just stuck her picture on our wanted poster, if we just peel it off. Alright.
A classic specimen of Alata needleus, a carnivorous vascular dicot known for its tasteful coloration, slight wiggle, and loads of tiny, sharp teeth.
It says lots of Needlius, so I think that's the right plant.
Gotcha, you pointy little trichiophyte. This is a plant with a bad attitude, and enough pokey parts to back it up.
Fear the carnivorous plant. Fear it! Well, at least some of the forest survived. Gotcha something.
There you go. Bite of 1,000 needles.
Tell me, is this an ancient, powerful charm, or simply a plant you found in the forest?
You were pretty opaque about what you wanted, even for you. I took my best shot.
Very well. You've always been the close enough sort.
It's true. Hey, Lost. Welcome. Enjoy the bedtime lurk.
Come, spirits of deception and death, drink your rejuvenation and awaken.
Death?
Can you get a shout
Nothing
out for
to worry
Lost,
about.
please?
John Laney, this hapless boy needs your help.
Hey.
Take pity on him and bring him the power to hide from his enemies.
Well, you don't have to put it like that.
Thanks, pal. Ugh.
That's it?
Unless you want the extended service warranty.
No thanks. I'm not a sucker. What do I owe you?
Maybe try it on first, before we discuss payment.
Well, how do I look? Ah! What the heck? I look like a zombie.
Yeah?
Is it broken?
One
Was that-
does the best one can with the materials provided.
I'll just wear it when I really need to.
I mean, you're trying to blend in on Ghost Ship.
I think I'm ready to set sail.
This seems fitting. Hey, no problem. Oh, Joe, you've been lurking and working. I appreciate a good multitask.
Will I succeed?
Achievement depends mostly on the definition of success.
I'll get back to browsing the shop.
Act fast. Supplies are limited.
Looks like it's been there forever. Not for me. I'm not gonna touch it. A crystal. Yeah, this isn't that kind of game.
Still don't have keys. I'm hoping this is going to be a long-running thing, because it seems important. But I don't really have any leads other than I saw someone with Elaine who had a golden key on their headdress. Right. Put on the enchanted eye patch. Other than that, I think we're good to go. We got our disguise, we got a mop. Do you want to do a quick check of some of these locations? I feel like there probably won't be anything, because...
Hey, Wally. Nice weather.
Yep.
Most of our dead ends have been tied, or loose ends have been tied off for now.
Hey, Wally.
Other than the key.
It's the pirate life for me.
Yep.
Other than the keys. Gosh. Darn it. I'll briefly check in on Stan, since we never figured out how to help him, if that's even possible.
Hey, Stan.
Hello there, son.
Nah.
See you later.
Yep. Watch your boots in here, son. It's like a swamp. Without the clean...
I don't remember this place being so leaky.
I wasn't trying to do that, but okay. You don't think you remember talking to those 3 pirates outside of Wally's? Really? I feel, oh right, you said you didn't finish it because you were waiting till, after spooky season. Cause from what I have seen of the promotional stuff, I'm pretty sure they come up later in the game. Well, since I'm about to leave, maybe I will steal back the book.
He'll never complain again.
Are you done with the cookbook? I'd like it back.
I'm still using it. So much to do.
Are you done with the cookbook?
Okay, he's not gonna steal it while he's not looking.
Using it.
Okay. What's with the Holy Grail over here?
So much to do.
Oh, you can steal the picture? Oh, cool. I don't know why I want it, but
about baking versus roasting.
I've got it.
Never complain again.
What would I want it for?
Coming along nice.
What do I want it for?
It's torn and ugly, but strangely compelling.
Appreciate the painting. Appreciate it. No, seriously, what do I want it for? If anything. It's just for the sake of stealing. I guess I can get behind that. What else? Alright, so this is all fine. Sorry. I feel like chapter 1 is winding down. It's probably a good point to break. Well, that's not the way I meant to go. Soon, but I just wanted to do a quick once over of some of the other locations to make sure I didn't miss anything. Maybe one more time, try this out. Try one more time.
I don't want to wreck my brand new shiny knife. There was a time when every mooring would be filled with one of Stan's used ships.
I can't believe I can't steal the rust bucket.
This to clean his ships. It's all rusted out now.
Wait a minute. Oh, never mind. Huh. I can demonstrate that. See, it's really easy to change the picture on these wanted posters. I thought I could give him a new souvenir to replace the other one. Maybe I can give him some new souvenir. No. Well, nothing that I don't, like, kind of need. Or potentially need. Oh, alright. I guess, sucks to be you. Just double checking. Oh, I thought I saw someone running there. Oh well. Actually, wait, is there? Yeah. I don't know what this is for.
It's torn and ugly, but strangely compelling.
guess I can't really think of anything else right now. Well, hopefully I didn't miss anything fun. Maybe just in case, I will make a separate save. If I look into it later and it turns out I missed something super fun, I might go back. Right, I might want to put on the eye patch before I talk to them. Excuse me. It'd be good if the chapter ended because I'm getting hoarse.
Hi there. You must be the quartermaster.
Yep, you look like a guy without many options. I need a swabby. It's BYOM. So, show me a decent mop and the job's yours.
Okay.
I have that.
How's this for a mop?
Let's see. Stick, globby, spongy pad. Good enough. You're hired. Great. We'll be getting underway soon. Why don't you come on board and I'll introduce you to the crew.
I'm excited to see my stateroom. When's a good time to discuss the benefits package?
Huh. Good luck with that.
Threepwood's on the Chuck's ship. He's got some kind of disguise. From the bargain bin, it looks like.
So what?
How dare you?
I don't think this could be a problem. We didn't plan for him.
I hate not knowing what's going on. I should have taken him out the minute he walked in here.
Don't worry, we'll know what's going on.
Yeah? How?
I got a spy on board the ship.
Pardon. Ooh. Oh, I like how the back of the ship is like a snarling face. Yeah, I'm at the same part as you now. Cool. Oh, ooh. Part 2, A Dangerous Journey. All right.
So once you were on LeChuck's ship, you turned the tables on them. You whipped out your sword and said, "I'm your captain now. Take me to Monkey Island, or you'll all walk the plank."
More or less.
The name's Gullen, but you're not to call me that. To you, I'm the first swab. And I want to hear the capital letters when you say it.
Capital 1. Got it.
And this is the old. You'll be spending a lot of time down here.
I thought we'd have a union or something. How much time is a lot of time?
All of it. You work here. You sleep here. You take your meals here. Forget the world you knew before. This hold is your world. The hull is your ground. The deck is your sky. And I am your deity of choice. A cruel and vengeful deity. I only have one simple rule. You are not to leave this hold under any circumstances. Any questions?
Can't I leave the hold?
What if I need to, you know?
Use the portal. Don't get anything on the ledge outside, though. I hate an unsightly ledge.
What happens if I leave?
I said you're not to leave under any circumstances.
Well, I know, just hypothetically. What if I did?
The worst punishment you can imagine.
Which is?
I throw you back down here. Nothing's worse than this.
Really? I mean, it's definitely not cozy, but...
Where's my bunk?
You might be all right inside one of the crates. Otherwise, be sure to cover your eyes. The chickens like to peck. But it's probably safest if you don't sleep at all. The chickens have their ways.
Is it chicken?
What's for dinner?
Oh, we'd like a bit of dinner, would we? Well, perhaps we can arrange a bit of roast duck under glass for your majesty. But seriously, learn to catch rats. You can drown them in your mop bucket. They make their own sauce.
No thanks on the sauce.
What am I supposed to be doing exactly?
No recruits. You're all thicker than the chickens.
Swabbing?
Is that the whole answer?
You're supposed to be swabbing. I want this whole sparkling, as if it was clean. Now,
as
get
if
to
it
work.
was.
Yo-ho, pirate's life for me.
Do we just have some glitter? Because that would make this a lot faster. Okay, I don't want to get into, like, searching for stuff because I would like to wrap up a little sooner than usual, but I'm definitely feeling the sleepies. And like I said, I'm getting hoarse, so it would probably be for the best if I stopped talking. I feel like some of my inventory, is gone. They let me keep the Pillsbury Doughboy, though. It's interesting. Okay. Let's do... That'll be my chapter 1 slot. Put this as my main slot, though. And... that one's got an egg. Oh my god, it does. Ah, no, focus. Explore for next time. Alright, so that was chapter 1 of Tales of Monkey... not Tales, sorry. Return to Monkey Island. And, I'll continue... with chapter 2 next Tuesday. Hey, Danielle, how's it going? Pardon, welcome to the stream. Yeah, get a shout out for Daniel, please. There we go. Apart from his own stream, you may also see Daniel on Conversations with Curtis. The Twitch channel would be Curtis Craig Talks, I think. Sorry. Yeah, definitely time to end for the day. Ooh. Yes, I remember correctly. Alright, yeah, so that'll be next Tuesday, more Return to Monkey Island this Friday. We're Final Fantasy II. And on Sunday, we're continuing the Hugo series with Hugo's House of Horrors, and probably going on to the second game, which I think it was called Hugo Who Done It? Pardon. Hey, no problem. Glad you could drop by. Sorry, it's right when I'm ending. I guess it's early morning for you. Oh, cool. Oh, yeah, that's fine. Well, thank you for the lurk. Let's see. Oh, well. I know who I have to raid. Nate the Adventurer is playing Beast Within. You know I love Gabriel Knight. So, that is where I'll be dropping you off tonight. Always appreciate the lurks. Was there anything else? No. Yeah. That was the wrap up for the week. I'm gonna have to set the raid before I lose my voice. Nate the Adventurer. There we go. Anyway, thank you everyone for joining me tonight. I hope you're enjoying Return to Monkey Island as much as I am. Hope you have a good rest of the week, and I hope to see you around. Take care, everyone. Bye.